Welcome everybody, just a killer song, Iron Maiden. Get your chops up, it's a quickie. Great song, of course there's multiple guitars. I've pretty much put down both points of view, if you will, although there are 3 guitars. But regardless, they'll get you playing this song. So, got my EVH guitar. I forgot how much I really like this guitar. It just plays really well. The neck's not too thin. I love the roasted maple. Wonderful, wonderful guitar and not expensive. So grab one if you don't have one and you need a Floyd, because that's what I needed for this. So this song is in standard tuning. Of course, I've written this out. My notes will be available with a link below the video. Click on that and you can download my tab. It starts out with unison bends and a rhythm guitar. So we'll go over the unison bends first, like I did in my intro. We'll be on the first string at 12 and the second string at 15. Now you want to bend 15 up so they ring in unison. That idea of a unison bend. Now if you go too far, they kind of start warbling. You want to, not enough. Again, it won't sound right. So this is a great practice for doing unison bends. So we're going to do this 15-12 twice. Then we move it down a full step to 10 and 13 on the first and second string respectively. And that's only a 1 hit. Alright, so we have this. Then we're going to move it, hit this 10-13 twice, and then move it to the 12-15. So we have this. Then we come down a full step, or sorry, 2 steps. We'll be at 8 and 11, 8 and 11 on the first, second string, and then we go up a full step. Alright, so let me take it from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I'm not doing it right there. Still too much. Then we come, after we do the 8 and 11 to 10 and 12, then we move to the second and third string. This will be at 8, and the third string, which we will bend, will be at 10. Alright, so that's our ending. All together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that will repeat a total of 5 times in the intro. While that's going on, there's, like I said, a rhythm chording guitar underneath that. So for the intro rhythm, what we're doing is this. We're going to hit a muted A string and then an A note with a 4th root. So we'll be on the 4th string at 7 and the 3rd string at 9. Then we lift and hit 7. Referencing a D. So we're going from A to D. Then we're going to hit that root note again and muted, and then 2 more of the D at the 7th root and hammer on where we were on the 4th string at 9. Now we're going to move everything down a step and just use both strings at the same position. So it's a hammer on. Basically we'll hit a root note and then 2 C's hammered onto a D. Then we're going to take it all the way down to an open G. Now this open G is a little tricky. You don't want to ring it out. You just want to stop it. So as you hit it, put your hand right down. And then hammer on. Alright, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. That will repeat, instead of 5 times, the full thing will repeat 4 times. On the 5th time, we don't hammer into A, we go into D power chord. So we're not going to play the 1st string. So I'll play the very last measure of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got a little whammy bar. It sounds like I'm a little out of tune. So I'm going to check my tuning and we'll go over that. So when we get to that open G, all we do is hit that D power chord. There's a couple things happening. One is a pick scrape. One guitar does. The other guitar just kind of hits the whammy bar only 2 times down slightly. To the rhythm. Meanwhile, the other guitar actually starts the rhythm. So I don't go into the rhythm right away. I let the D ring, and then I come in with the next measure. So there's a measure of D with triplets, then a measure of C. And we'll take C, the end of the measure, and move our root note from C to B, back to C, back to B. All right, so it's triplets. And it's a real galloping kind of a rhythm. So da 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 da. If you get my shift there. So you really, again, and they play this fast. All right, they'll do that a total of 8 times for, I'll call it half measure because of the way I've written it out, if you will. And then they're going to move to the C, and the C will be 4 times with the galloping before they move to a C. We'll call this B over C, back to C, back to B over C. All right. So at a medium tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and we'll do that for 2 measures. So there's 2 lines of it. Yeah, my timing's a little off and I apologize. I always get nervous in front of the camera, but you get the idea. Follow the timing. I'm not a real good counter. I just go with feel. I'm a feel player. Then we move into a pre-chorus. The pre-chorus is an A power chord to C, to F, and then to D. All right? So we have this. Then we're into the actual chorus. So the chorus, there's really two parts to it. There's the main chording, there's a little lead up, and then the measure repeats. So the main chords are G as a power chord, so we're not playing the B note on the 5th string, and we're covering the B note with the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. Then we come to an F. So that is a muted hit on the 1st string and then 2 mutes before hitting the chord again. And we'll do that twice. Then we go to a C, and then he'll sing run. We'll do C again when he says run. 4, we'll move to a B over C, and then back to G. So it'll be, let me do the whole first measure of the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after they go run for your and then G with the life, they're going to do a little walk up, which is very cool. It's an open 6th string to 1st and 2nd, back to a G chord to start it again. Then they're back into the galloping rhythm, all right? So maybe we'll take the pre-chorus and the chorus together so you can see how it all fits together. So coming out of the verse. To verse 2. All right, so really not very difficult. The difficulty lies in the speed these guys play this at. So again, I use riff station. Even just practicing it, I slow it down a little bit just to, you know, be able to feel like I can play it, because as I'm getting older, I can't do as much as I used to. All right, so verse 2 is just like verse 1. Same with pre-chorus 2 and chorus 2. And that will lead us into the solo rhythm. Okay, solo rhythm. Some people don't talk a whole lot about it in this song, but it's a great rhythm. I'm going to do it at a medium tempo so you can see what I'm doing, and then we'll go over that's a measure of it, and we would repeat all of that. So it's a 1 and then a quick 1 and then 3, 4. Then we move up real quickly to an F sharp to G. The G will start, and then we do 2 more pushes and then a 3, 4. Then we go B to C. After our 3, 4, then we come to this. Alright, so it's basically we're hitting the B note to C on the 5th string, and we'll do that a total of 2 times back to the B. Then we come up to the 5th string at 3 to open, then start again. that's 2 measures worth, and then we're into the bridge right after that. All right. So the bridge, we're going to come up here to our 4th root chords. All right. We're going to start with the A, and we'll be pumping off a muted A string. So it'll start with the chord. Alright, so what we're doing is hitting that A. It'll be a total of 3 times with 2 of the muted A's between. Then we move it up from A to B. Then we move it up to C. Then to D, but we're going to only do twice on the D. It almost sounds like 3, but they're holding that last one. And start it again. Oh, what a workout. I mean, they really go quick with that. That'll go for 4 measures. And then we're back in to what's the chorus, and it's basically the outro. So chorus 3, which again is the outro, we'll go through it 3 full times. The 4th time, we kind of hold the C before we go. We don't hit it again. We go to the B over C and then end on the G. All right. So let's just do the last 2 measures. First one would be normal, and then the second would be the ending out of the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. So we'll go over the solo next. So the solo is primarily in E minor pentatonic, and it'll start out like this. Alright, that's the first measure. So he's taking on the 2nd string from 12, hitting 15 with a bend and release, and then 15 again bent. He quickly goes to the 1st string with 12 hammered down to 15, pulled back off. Then we go to 15 on the 2nd string, back to 12 on the 1st string, to 15 with a bend, and back on the 2nd string, back to 12. And then the next half of the measure is 2 pull-offs from 15 to 12, and 3 from 14 to 12 with a bend and release. So 14 at first is a bend and release and pull off, and then 2 pull-offs. And slid down, all right? Then he comes back in, sliding into 14 on the 5th string, and then comes to 12 on the 4th string, and then does 3 quick pull-off and hammer-ons from 12 to, I'm sorry, 14 to 12, back to 14, again 3 times. Then kind of slides back into 14. He does the same thing from 12 on the 3rd string. The same thing, including 14 on the 2nd string. Then he'll come back, slide into 14 on the 3rd string. This time he'll hit 15 after 12 on the 2nd string. Then he slides up to 16 on the 3rd string and grabs 15 to 17, back to 15, hammered on and pulled up. Back to 16 on the 3rd, another hammer on and pull off from 15 to 17 on the 2nd, 16, and then another hammer on and pull off, but this time he'll do another pull off and back to 16. And then another one of those. Ending with 17, bent with some vibrato. So that's the third measure. So second, third, all together. Again, I've written this out. You can really follow my notes, slow it down the best way you can. From that point, we're coming back to the 12th position, and we're going to hammer on to 15, and we'll do that 4 times before landing back on 12. And then do that on the second string. All right, and then we go to the third string, but we're using 14. And then we'll do the fourth string. Coming back to 12 to 14, bent up on the third string, catching 15, and then hitting 14 again while bent, and 15 again. Then we release 14. A little bit of slide. Tremolo on 12 on the third string as we release, and then slide down. And then we take our tremolo bar, and we're going to come up to the second E position, and we'll be... Alright, so we take 17... So basically you're using the tremolo bar on 17 on the first string, then 15 to 17, just with some dives and bring ups. Then we come 14 to 16, and then slide down, and then we finish it out with sliding up to the next position, 17 on the second string to 20 with a bend and a slow release. Alright, so I know there's real technique to this, and I'm not proficient at it. I just learned every note for you and wrote it down, so you have that. But there's the solo and really the whole song. So I really hope this helps everybody and you enjoy.